This video is sponsored by Nanlite Global. This video is read by Drew and written by Taylor Edwards. So the folks over at Nanlite contacted me and offered to send a free Forza 500 Cob Light in exchange for me to make a video about what I think of it. So here we are. This video is going to be broken down into two sections, a lighting tutorial and the pros and cons of what I think of the light. If you want to skip the tutorial and go straight to what I think of it, you can jump here in the video. I'm not one for unboxings and basic reviews, so I wanted to actually put the Forza to the test in realistic situations. So that's what I did. I have used the light on 4 projects, trying to push it to its limits and see what it can do. Today, we're going to focus on this commercial looking night bedroom scene. To light the scene, we used 2 Nanlite 30C Parvo tubes, the Forza 500 and a haze machine. So here's how we did it. First rule of lighting a scene, turn all the lights in the room off and see one by one what practical light can motivate what you were shooting. Because it's already in the frame, we chose to use the lamp next to our actress to be the main motivation for the light in the scene. We set up our first tube on the far left of frame and pointed it horizontally at the actress, at about 20% power, matching the colour of the light to our lamp. This is just to give the light on her face a bit more punch and filling in some of the shadows. The reason we chose a low intensity was to try and keep a natural feel to the light, but this still looked too dramatic for me, so we added a second tube also at 20% power, just on the left of frame, again pointed at the actress. This is to help wrap the light around the front side of her face, also helping to remove some of the contrastiness by filling in the shadows. Now for the Forza. As it's very powerful, I wanted to use it to simulate moonlight, so we put it outside the window behind our set with the Fresnel attachment mounted. We then attached a CTB gel to give a bluish Hollywood night hue. This is starting to look nice, but we wanted to have less of a clean image. So we added some haze to the room and wafted it around to create some atmosphere. And because the light bounces all around the haze, it also helps carry that light a little bit more around her face. We next ran into a happy accident. We turned the laptop on, which was bright enough to add a slight blue light on her face, which works well as a great second practical. And that's it. It's important to start thinking about lighting as painting a set. Work out where you want your shadows to fall and light everything else, to add emotion, drama, or effects. And just in case you were interested, we shot on the Blackmagic Pocket 4K with the Vazen 40mm anamorphic lens. Okay, let's move on and talk about my thoughts and experience with the Forza 500. Here are my pros. The main benefit of this light is that it's really bright. In fact, it's brighter than my Aputure 300D Mark II, which has been my go-to LED cob light for most situations. And when you put the optional Fresnel on, you get about 2.5 times the brightness, which is damn impressive. The construction feels solid. In fact, it might have the best feeling lock mechanism for a Bowens cob light that I've ever used. And it comes in a great protective carrying bag, which is something that I feel all professional lights need to come with these days. I'm the kind of guy who likes to do one trip from the car to the kitchen when bringing in groceries. I'm kind of the same way with gear, so the bag helps. Now, let's move on to my cons. Firstly, the cables the light comes with are ridiculously short. You can buy a 5-meter replacement control cable like I did, but it feels like this is what should have been included in the first place, and that still leaves us with a very short power cable. Secondly, I'm not a fan of the mounting system for the control/power box. The clamp broke the 3rd time I used it. I contacted both Protog, the Australian distributor, and Nanlite. They sent me out a replacement via express post, which is great, but this really shouldn't have happened at all. All I did was tighten it onto the stand and I wasn't even at full tension. My gaffer from this shoot told me that it looks like it's made out of powdered aluminium, which apparently is not designed to handle tension or weight, which is exactly what it's meant to be doing. Coincidentally, the Melbourne gaffer over at the YouTube channel Gaffer and Gear recently had the same frustration as me and has posted an elegant solution to the issue, which I'll link to in the description. I lack access to power tools, so it won't work for me, but it may for you. Something I feel that is worth mentioning that isn't necessarily a con is that the fan is fairly loud. It isn't terrible, but I wouldn't be comfortable using it in small rooms when we need to capture audio, where I can do that with my Aputure 300D with no problem. Another is that technically this light can be powered by V-Lock batteries, which for how bright it is sounds pretty amazing, but then you find out that you need 26 volt V-Lock batteries, and the cheapest ones available in Australia are $700 each, and you require 2 of them to run the light for an hour at full power. This is not ideal. Overall, this is a very impressive light, especially for the price point, but it does fall short in the areas of practical usability, reliability, and trustworthiness in the long term. But I do love it. I'm honestly torn. If you need something bright and you're okay buying a few extras to make it work for you, then get this light because I think you'll love it as much as I do. But if you're a run and gun filmmaker who beats their gear, I'd wait and see what the Mark II improves upon, if there ever is one. Below, I have linked to where you can buy the Forza 500 from in Australia and in the US. If the Forza is not for you, check out the 30C tubes because they're honestly awesome. Anyways, I'll catch you next time.